everybody? Welcome to the second episode of Two Beans in a Pod. My name is Jose.
Jared over here.
Really excited to bring you the second episode. I want to thank everybody who had tuned in for the first one, those that are really being supportive, that they don't know how much that means to me. And we're hoping that this is something.
Man. Come on, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. I mean, who's really promoting it?
Yeah, you got a point.
But nonetheless, like, I'm really grateful for all their support and all the love. One thing that I really wanted to accomplish with this was being able to reach out with a bunch of people, whether it was family, whether it's friends. And I feel like rewatching that first episode, there was a lot of things we could have improved on, and some things I liked, but I do want to leave it open-ended to where we're not just specifically talking about sports, but that we're tackling other topics as well, leaving it for like an open conversation, you know?
Pretty much.
I think this should be some form of entertainment, specifically for like our friends and our family, regardless of what you guys got going on, whether it's, work, school, your personal life. I want this to be a chance to escape that, and that you can join in the conversation. We'll talk about whatever, and it's just as if we're with you in person. So whether it's sports, movies, music, whatever, I want this to be an opportunity for everyone to decompress and just step away for a second, or put it in the background and do what you have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Above all else, I want this to just be fun. And with that first episode, I really think like I kind of took it more serious than what it should have been. And although I like the numbers, I'm really a numbers guy. I love statistics, but the best conversations are really when you let them flow. You let them free form and they come natural to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously we're still going to talk sports because sports are a big part of our lives. Everybody knows that. I feel like, who comes in contact with us. So the first thing I want to talk about is that Canelo fight.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Dude, so like I had picked him. We both picked him in the 7th.
Yeah, but then I changed mine like in the 9th, like last second.
Because you were like, oh, I have him in the 7th or the 9th. And I'm like, well, give me the 7th because you're already doubting the round.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was not the case. He was outboxed, outworked by his opponent, Dimitri Bivol. Just a great overall performance by him and his team.
Yeah, kudos to Bivol, man. He was he was like fighting pretty good.
It was real smart. And one thing I really enjoyed about that was he didn't shy away from the moment. He looked confident.
Not only that, but he was humble. He wasn't even arrogant, nothing.
Going at, at the end of the fight, and he had his post-fight interview. I remember he had said something along the lines of, now I hope people treat me like the champion that I am.
Yeah, I felt that, dude.
That stuck with me because personally, I gave him no shot. I saw he had 20 fights to his name, or 19 fights to his name. I thought, this is a fight Canelo should win, But, big ups to him, big ups to his team. They really challenged Canelo. They fought on his terms, which I saw people comparing that to the Mayweather fight, which was his first defeat. He fought on his terms and he controlled the fight. And you could see he was making Canelo frustrated towards the end of the fight,
Yeah, it was really disappointing, though. I thought he was at least going to perform in the mid-rounds because usually, like, in the beginning, he's slow, studies, like, the opponent, see what's up, what they got. But now, like, Bivol dominated the entire fight. Canelo had no chance.
It's a real shame because, like, early on in the fight, I saw that, Bivol was controlling it. And I'm like, okay, this is typical. Canelo likes to feel out his opponent. He likes to let the fight come to him and then encounter.
Yeah.
That's his big thing. He's a counter hitter, and he usually likes to perform later in rounds because he's relying on not only outlasting them, but outsmarting them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it was, but Dimitri and his team, they just came prepared. They knew the plan.
Yep.
They executed it pretty well. And I'm excited to see if they do a rematch.
I'm pretty sure they would.
I think
I'd be down to see it if they didn't.
Oh, absolutely. I would be too. I was looking forward to another fight with Gennady Golovkin, but I mean, if these two guys come out fighting the way they did, this first one, it's going to be something to watch. So
yeah, most definitely.
But I mean, for me, I predicted a 7th round win because again, I was confident that he was going to win that fight. And before the fight even takes place, our sister, she's talking to us and our dad, and she looks at him and she says, well, what if he loses? And I look at her, I'm like, dude, like, he's not, come on. Like,
yeah.
He has 60 fights to his name. Bivol has only 19. Like this is a fight he should win. She's like, yeah, but what if? And I look back at her and I think, like, dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, come on, you don't even watch fight. She doesn't even watch boxing. Keep that in mind. She has told me in the past, I will not watch boxing because I don't like, the fact that they're beating each other up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if they paid me enough money, I'd jump in the ring right now.
Hell yeah, dude, let's go.
They're getting paid millions of dollars, and I respect it because there's hard work and the dedication and the training that goes into it. But, oh man, just big ups to Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah, congrats to him. I really liked how he was humbled though, because I don't like when Canelo, when he came out and he was on that podium thing, the stage where it was like rising up. I'm like, dude, that's kind of getting cocky though. Like, you have to win the fight with that, because that was reminding me of like Rocky 3, where Apollo was like doing his whole stage.
Oh yeah, it was Rocky 4.
Yeah, it was 4.
Because it's when he fights Drago, the Russian.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's the reputation he's gotten at this point. I think Canelo, he needed this fight. He needed this loss, I should say, because now it brings him back to earth, and it's like, hey,
it's about time though. Because I was wondering, like, is he gonna lose again at one point?
I think everybody knew eventually he was going to have to, but it just wasn't this fight.
Yeah, that threw me off.
But I mean,
it is what it is, though.
Good fight.
Yeah.
It's just a shame, whenever it's a Cinco de Mayo fight or a fight on Mexican independence, it's always a shame because it's Mexican fans, they take the boxing very serious. There were people booing him at the end of the fight.
I saw that. I was like, what the hell?
I'm like, dude. Well, I mean, because you're disappointed. But
I was disappointed too. But I'm not gonna bash him. I mean, maybe
don't even say stuff like that.
Hold on,
because you be bashing other teams.
Okay, leave me alone. Anyways, no, I feel like maybe like they're booing him because keep in mind, boxing people make bets all the time.
Oh, you want to talk about bets? You see Money Mayweather?
What do you do?
He'd bet $10,000 that Canelo was gonna lose this fight. He walked out with $52,000.
Oh my god!
He don't even need the money. But it's like, no, there's no way like he would have known. I hate when people are like, "Oh, it's fixed." That ruins the fun.
It really does. Not just boxing, but just sports in general, where it's like fixed and everything.
We're talking about fixed. That brings me to the next topic, and that's the NBA.
Ooh, buddy.
I don't want to think that the NBA is fixed, but they have had in the past instances where referees have came out and said, like, yeah, sometimes the results are not predetermined, but they kind of favor one team.
I think, when I think of that, the first thing that comes to mind is like the Kings back in 2002 against the Lakers.
Yeah.
I didn't see the game because obviously I was just a baby.
You were, less than one?
Probably, yeah.
But so there's been history in terms of like, is it or isn't it? One thing that I have found really not fishy, but concerning is just the number of foul calls that have been going on this year in the playoffs. It seems like there's always something, and now every time there's a hard foul, we got to review it for flagrant. People are getting thrown out. People are getting ejected. People are getting suspended.
Yeah, and it's just really annoying because, dude, I just want to watch the game, man.
It ruins the flow of the game.
Yeah.
And I'll always say that if you're trying to protect the players, I respect that. That's fine. But at the same time, it's like...
It's playoff basketball, dude.
Come on.
They're going to play physical.
Of course. At the time of this recording, the Warriors had just beaten the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh my god!
They're now 3-1. Hopefully, when this airs,
Game 4.
That's Game 4. Hopefully, when this airs, we would have already won Game 5. We'll see
Fingers
how
crossed,
it comes
dude.
out.
I hate closing out games.
I don't want to sound dumb now, because once this comes out and we're still playing, whatever.
Yeah, man.
But it was a struggle. That game was ugly.
Oh yeah,
Game 4 specifically.
I'll be honest, we sucked, man.
We started 0 for 15 behind the 3-point line.
Dude, we
it's
played
ridiculous.
so bad. It's like we were the Rockets when they tried to be like us a few years back.
The Rockets back in 2018, 2019.
I think it was 8. I think it was 19 actually.
They had shot.
Yeah, it was 19 because KD got hurt.
Oh, it was 2019.
Yeah, and I remember that's when Chris Paul. Chris Paul.
They're not gonna get that. Look up Chris Benoit.
Yeah, just look up Chris Benoit.
No, okay. Back on track. That was when they had missed 27 three-pointers. 27 straight. And it's like I was afraid. I'm like, dude, are we gonna go 27 in a row and miss? And we didn't, but we went 5 of 30 at one point. We were shooting abysmal. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I was frustrated because you were with me. I was yelling at the TV. Why are you shooting so many threes? Start working in the paint and pull out.
Dude, you're being really serious in that game. I'm over here. I'm like, dude, it's whatever, man. Let's just move on already, man. Like, it was just depressing.
But it's just annoying because it's like if you see the threes aren't falling in, stop taking the three. And then on top of that, Stephen Curry would hit a three, and then we get the ball back, and his teammate is like, oh, well, he made it. Let me jack up a three, and he bricked it.
Wasn't it Lee?
I think it was Damian Lee.
Oh, my God.
And it's like...
I was cracking up. I'm like, dude,
I was
come
frustrated.
on, man. No. And keep in mind, there was like his 503 in the playoff, like career-wise, for like the playoffs. It's like, dude, it took you like 3 quarters just to hit 1 3.
And I kept saying this from the beginning. I said, I don't know what's more embarrassing. The fact that we're shooting so bad, like god awful, like in all my years watching the Warriors, that might have been the worst performance in the playoffs. I don't know what was more embarrassing, that performance or the fact that there was a chance that the Grizzlies would still lose. And we ended up coming back and winning them. Because, I mean, Steph took over in the fourth. He had 18 points in the fourth quarter.
And it's like, yeah, some people are going to complain, like, dude, Morant was out, you know, like, they didn't have a chance. Well, didn't, like, the Grizzlies played better? Like, they were, like, what, 20-5 when Morant was out?
They were 20-5. They won 80% of the games without him. So, defensively, they looked better. They looked more intact. They were focused. And I feel like part of the reason for that is because they knew, well, Morant's not here to bail us out, so we got to step it up on defense. And it worked for the most part.
Yeah, it worked.
But the reason I was more frustrated is the fact that, you know, we had guys like Clay, Steph, Jordan Poole. They're missing open shots.
Yeah.
Like, these are shots. Like, I'm 5'6" on a good day. I could probably play better ball than they did that day.
Hell yeah, man. Just suit me up with some Air Force Ones. I'm 5'7". Dude, I'll make a layup, man.
It's just, I mean, again, that was game 4. By the time this airs, I'm hoping we closed it out in game 5.
Oh, man.
And then it looks like Phoenix. I can't talk about it too much because currently while we're filming this, Phoenix is about to face the Dallas Mavericks in their game 5. So, I mean, we'll see from there. You know, we're kind of talking from a different time. But I mean,
wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 7, though.
I think regardless, the Suns win.
Oh, yeah. I still got them winning.
But it's just, is it 6 or 7? And we'll have our answer by the time this airs. So, no, but really looking forward to it. I think we have a good shot. You know, we're right there, man. We're close to another finals run. Looking forward to it. We talked about this yesterday, and you said something like, well, the Warriors, I've seen them win already. So there's not that much pressure. You know what I mean? You want to speak on that?
Well, okay. Here's how I look at it, all right? I'm only saying that because, yeah, I've seen them win. If we lose, it's like, I'll be bummed out, yeah, but I won't be so frustrated. It's like, hey, I saw them win. Same thing with the Giants in baseball. I see them win. You know, they won the World Series a few times. I saw that. That was cool. I'll be really mad if we lose to the Dodgers, though. Okay, that'll be the only team where I'll be like, we could have won. I can't
stand the Dodgers.
Like last season, dude. We had that.
Oh, don't even talk to me about it.
Yeah,
it was tough.
Now, see with the Niners, though. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So obviously, we won 5 Super Bowls. Okay, last one, I wasn't even born. He wasn't even born. Xbox wasn't even made. PlayStation barely came out in Japan.
You always have to bring up video games.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. It was 1995.
The MCU wasn't even made.
It was 1995.
Dude, keep in mind, we had like Val Kilmer as Batman at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, but Tom Holland wasn't even born.
The point that I wanted to make is you say how, oh, it's not that big of a deal because we won. And for me, it's like the opposite. I'm like, dude, we won 3. We still have the main core of that dynasty. We should be performing better.
I also feel like because basketball is like your favorite sport and like you have like a higher standards to them. Yeah. While for me, football is my favorite sport, which is what I'm kind of more like
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when it comes to football, You're definitely more intense. When I watch football,
You're quiet, dude.
it's like church for me, dude. Like
yeah,
I
you're
can't.
quiet.
It's hard for me to like get up and cheer because I'm just so locked in. Because God forbid, I cheer and then it's like, oh, there's a flag. That play didn't count, and it's just so deflating.
It's like this, dude. You're either quiet or like every few minutes when Josh Norman's on that field, you're like,
Yeah, I do be doing that.
again.
It's like we recently looked into it too. Josh Norman, one of the cornerbacks for the San Francisco 49ers,
Oh my god.
he had 21 penalties called on him all year?
Yeah, and like, Jesus, man.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Would I keep him on the team? Yeah, probably. I mean,
Why you gotta do this to me, man?
because we need corners. I don't care. He's a veteran. He'll fix it up, I'm sure.
All right.
I mean, like, again, it's a love-hate relationship with those teams.
It really is. I love this team so much. It comes to the point where legit, I would like amputate a finger, dude, just to see us win one. All right.
Yeah, I said I'd do a foot. I'd give up a foot.
I'll do a whole leg.
I mean, I don't know about that. Okay. Again, that's another thing with this podcast that I wanted to do is really open up. People know us for what we portray out in the world. Like I know the way I am at work and at my job is different than how I was at school or how I'm with family, and this allows me that chance to really blend everything into one. And I mean, for people who didn't know, that's how we felt about our sports teams. There you go. We also want to take time to share personal stories.
Yeah. Everyone's passionate about something. For us, it's mostly sports. Like, everyone's very passionate for a hobby. You know, you got some people who are very passionate for shoes. Movies is another one.
Yeah, I like movies.
I like video games.
Speaking of movies, Friday the 13th. You can see I got the t-shirt on. I mean, for our viewers who can see the video. But we
I'm
also have
wearing NASA, because when Jason went to space.
That's Jason X.
Yeah.
That's right. Got the Jason mask. This is the same mask I had worn for Halloween. You might have seen the pictures online. I'm very proud of that. It was very fun. I'm a big fan of slashers, specifically like Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers,
the
stuff
iconic
like
ones,
that.
pretty much.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't want to like just be like, oh, the iconic ones. I like to name them. One thing you'll definitely notice with me is I'm like a storyteller. I like to like portray everything and give you the details in a way that really engages you.
Mm-hmm.
You and I are different in that case because with you, you'll tell a story and you'll focus on like the minute details where it's like, I don't know how that applies to the story, but thank you. And with me, I like to, just set the scene, if that makes sense for people.
Yeah.
But
I feel like with me, I feel like when I tell a story, I feel like you're the type to where like you just sum it up like what I said, but like in like a few minutes. While me, it takes like 10, 20 minutes.
You know what you do? And I love this joke because it just makes sense. When you tell a story, it's like how I would write an essay trying to meet the word count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could say the same thing in like 2 sentences, but you'll stretch it out to where it's like way longer than it needs to be, but you can cover the same, the same topic. But the reason I bring up Friday the 13th is because I really wanted to talk about some of our unlucky, moments.
Oh, don't get me started with that, man.
What do you want to start with one?
Well,
I got one. I got one in mind, but I mean, if you want to go ahead.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go off with one. Well, this one's not really like unlucky. This was just more so like a creepy experience. It was just like, ugh. So pretty much, a few years back, we used to like live in was it like a townhome? I guess would you call it?
Yeah, don't give away the address.
Well, no, obviously I'm not. I don't know how to pronounce it, dude.
Oh.
No, so this was like late at night. I remember because like we were like coming back from the gym, and I think we were gonna take out the trash. It's like around 10:30 at night, and
is this the one that takes place outside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, so we get out of our own house, and we're going to the dumpster, which is like far away, as if like it's SpongeBob with a hash sling and slasher. Like the trash can was just that far. So we go over there, and I heard a noise, right? And as we're at the dumpster and we would turn around, we see like these two like women and like what was it? What is it like? What were they wearing?
No, okay. So here's the thing. So I know exactly what story you're saying. We were walking. We were throwing something away. You're right.
Yeah.
We went to the dumpster, and we're walking back towards the house.
Mm-hmm.
And all we hear are these bicycles.
Yeah. It was bicycles.
And I'm thinking, okay, let them pass by. I don't want to get hit or anything. But they pull up and they stop to us.
Yeah.
And we were in this spot of the street where the light was behind them. So we couldn't see their face and we couldn't see what they were wearing. It was just, the light was bright.
Like it was it just felt so like tense. It was like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where like what was it, Brad Pitt when they're like at the
the Manson Ranch.
Yeah.
I usually compare it when I tell this story. I usually compare it to like the Manson family because they were talking to us about joining. I mean, they said their church.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I do believe it might have been. It was a Mormon church. I don't remember.
I think we're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witness. Don't quote me on it. I'm not politically correct when it comes to religion, even though I probably should be. But they were asking us to join. Like, oh yeah, if you wanted to take part, and given any other circumstance, if this took place during the day,
like,
okay,
yeah, cool.
Whatever. But the fact that it was at night and
it was almost midnight too.
Yeah, and it was just so weird. And the vibe that they gave us, I remember thinking like, dude, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, no, and there's like an awkward silence right when it's like, okay, like we're leaving.
Yeah, there was that awkward silence.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember
like an
that
awkward silence, and it just felt so uncomfortable.
I genuinely, like, part of me was looking around because I'm like, dude, someone's gonna jump up behind us.
Yeah.
And I remember just looking at you, and like my protective instincts came in, and I was like, dude, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for this. I'm sure they were nice people.
Yeah, I'm sure they're nice.
But it's just they didn't give me a good impression.
Yeah, man, like, dude, in my head, I'm freaking out. It's like Scooby-Doo, when he jumps on Shaggy. I'm like, dude, let's get out of here, dude.
I wasn't vibing with it. And again, if they're listening to this, which I highly doubt, I'm sorry that we're accusing you.
It was dark, and we couldn't see.
We were very tense.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're nice people.
I was tired that night, dude.
The one story I wanted to say was it happened on Friday the 13th. It was one morning. I was going to drop off you and our sister to school.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay, remember this?
Yeah,
it was early in the morning. I don't remember why it was me and why it wasn't like our parents. But regardless, it was me. I was dropping you guys off.
Yeah.
We get in my car.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Mazda.
Yeah, it was the
Mazda at that point. I love that Mazda.
Cool stickers, too.
I had stickers of the Warriors, Giants, and Niners on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So we get in the car, and keep in mind, their school was like a 10-minute drive.
No, not even, dude.
Well, I mean, with traffic, let's say.
Dude, it's in the morning, man. We just go down one street and boom.
Okay, well, then like
it was like 5
minutes. 7 minutes, whatever. It's close. It's like a really whatever. The point is, we get in the car and we probably travel down the street. It wasn't even that far.
Yeah.
We come to a stop sign. So okay, I pull up, I stop. I follow the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm brown. So if a cop pulls me over, God forbid,
I might get away with it.
Yeah, you're whiter than I am. But so I come to a stop, and then I look both ways because I'm a responsible driver, and I have you and my sister in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And as I begin to start pressing the gas, boom! I feel like something hit me in the back of the car, and I'm like, did I just get rear-ended? And I remember I didn't push the brake. I had let the car travel like 20 feet further because it wasn't that hard of a hit.
Well, for me it was because I remember because my back was like in pain the day before. Well, no, like the week before, and as like it just began like healing.
Yeah.
And then it just got like re-aggravated or just aggravated. I was pissed.
So I mean, we were pissed. So I remember. So I get rear-ended, and I remember I was like in shock. I was like, did this person just hit me at a stop sign? And I remember I looked at you and I looked at our sister and I was like, are you guys okay? And I'm starting to freak out because I look at our sister.
She was freaking out because she was in the back.
Yeah, and then she was saying her neck hurt. And I was like, did she just get whiplash? And I didn't know what to do. So I got out the car to go see the other driver. And it's like a girl, like maybe my age. This was, I think I was like 21, 22 around this time.
Yeah. She was freaking out, dude.
Who, our sister or
both?
So the other driver, the lady, the lady, she's like my age. The girl, she's like, hey, is everyone okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Are you okay? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And I say like, oh, let me check on my sister. She doesn't look good. And sure enough, she's complaining that her neck's hurting.
Yeah.
And again, I had never been like in an accident like that, so like I called mom real quick. I was like, hey, so
No. You didn't call. It was our sister.
oh, she called her.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, someone called her. Oh yeah, because I was talking to the driver at this time.
Yeah.
So
Mom came really fast. Like,
well,
she pulled up, dude.
again, it was like a minute away. Like we did not leave the house
No,
that far.
And what was weird though, it's like our mom, like, she had a feeling too. She said, I remember she told me, she's like, I had like a bad feeling when you called me.
Yeah, she got them like motherly instincts.
Yeah.
You know? But I do remember thinking like, man, what's today? And it's Friday the 13th. We ended up getting the police, and I think because they had to write a report, of course, and they had given her like a neck brace, and I'm thinking, dude, like if she got like nerve damage, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
And then I had to call the insurance, and it's this whole ordeal.
No, and look at the back of the car. It didn't look too bad.
It wasn't that bad, but they told
Yeah.
me that it wouldn't cover the damages, that it would be more expensive to save the car or to do work on it than to just total it. And so they declared it totaled. And I was like, dude, come on. Like, I love the
Yeah.
Mazda.
See, with me on that day, there was pros and cons, okay? The cons was that my back got hurt again. I was really pissed. Our sister wasn't, like, doing good either. You know, I remember when she got her neck brace, she looked like JBL when he had that neck brace in the hat and everything. She looked like crap that day. I'm gonna be flat out.
Oh, take it easy. She listens to this, so she's going to take that offensively.
No, she's gonna do the same thing. She's like, yeah, I hated that person who was driving in the back. She's like, I had
Yeah.
neck pain. See, with the pros, I have to go to school.
I think I called in from work because I had no car. Like, so I mean, like,
Yeah.
I told them, like, I can't come in. I was in an accident. And they were like, oh, like, I'm sorry. Like, that's okay. This was back when we were, like, decently staffed for people who used to work at that old place.
Honestly, that place is kind of like a hypocrite though, because one of our coworkers got into a car accident.
I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Anyways,
going to go into that.
Yeah, but do you have like another story, by the way? You know?
No. So we talk about Friday the 13th. And, of course, that's a horror franchise. And
One of my favorites.
I love, like, scary stories. I love, ghost stories. For those who, like, don't believe in ghosts, it's like, hey, that's your opinion. I respect it. But me, I believe in ghosts.
Especially from Goosebumps. I remember reading those books.
Yeah, I read the books and the show. Big part of our childhood.
I don't like the movie, though.
The movie wasn't that bad. I think it's because we're grown, and that's not, like, the ideal audience.
I
It was for
guess.
kids, But, so we used to live in this house for 15 years.
Yeah.
Right? And this is always the first story I think of when I think of ghost stories. I was in high school. You were in middle school.
No, not even, dude. I was like in 5th grade.
That's whatever, middle school.
4th grade. I don't know. I was really little, dude. I was really little. But I think I know this story you're talking about.
So we get ready. We're going to school. But for some reason, the power was out. And it wasn't just us. It was like the whole street. I don't know. I don't know what the reason.
I think it was like monsoon season or something.
Maybe. But, we're getting ready. And then we're hanging out in my room. Just talking, hanging out, until it's time to leave. And I remember, I think I was on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember too because
Like, I was just messing
I
on my
think mom
phone.
and dad were at work at the time already.
Maybe.
'Cause I remember we had to walk to school.
I don't think so.
No, I was walking after school. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because I was riding the bus
Yeah.
to go to high school. So who would have dropped you off? It would have been...
I don't remember, dude.
Anyway, that's not the point. So we're there just hanging out, whatever. And you know how, like, you're comfortable with the person, and sometimes there's those just moments of silence where you're just vibing. Just there.
Yeah.
That was us. So we're just there chilling, and we're in my bedroom, and we can hear in another room down the house.
Dude, it was like on the other side of the house.
It was the
man.
living room.
Oh yeah, it was the living room, and we had like all the doors open too, and it was just it made it more creepier.
So we hear, well, I'm gonna say I heard this faint voice of a woman kind of yelling, but it was a whisper yell, and she was like, "Ayúdame,
Really? That's what you
ayúdame." She was saying, "Help me" in Spanish.
Really? Because for me,
What'd you hear?
she said the same thing, but in English though. She kept saying, she said help me once, but when she said me, it was like a long me.
Yeah.
She was like help me, and it was just so creepy because it was so faint, but it was loud to the point where it's like you can hear from like another room.
But the point is, like, we didn't say anything.
We both heard it and we just looked.
We
at
just
each other.
looked at each other
Yeah.
like you heard that.
It was just so creepy, dude. Like I don't know what the hell happened.
I know for a fact that house, or maybe that's, just that area, it was haunted. There's no
Oh yeah,
way.
no, it was haunted.
So, to give some backstory, we found out around that time. Our neighbor at that
Mhm.
time, well, no, at that not at the time, but like our neighbor had, it was a wife and a husband. I don't remember if they had any kids. That's something.
I don't think they did.
No, I mean that's something for mom and dad to remember.
Yeah.
But there was an argument one night, and mom and dad said they heard them, and apparently the next morning there was like police or whatever, and the news, and they had interviewed dad, and he was on the news. I remember
that too. I was like, "Hey, Dad."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wait, he can't even hear me."
So he was on the news, and apparently the husband had killed the wife.
Yeah,
And to this day, I'm convinced
that was her.
that was some kind of residual energy
Yeah. And it's like
of the night that taken place.
it's like over time getting older, it's just even more creepier though. Because when you're a kid, it's like, oh my god, it's scary, But when you get older, it's like, dude, that's really creepy.
It's kind of sad too.
Yeah.
To think that energy is still around. That maybe she hasn't found peace.
Yeah, it was really weird, man. Another one was, it was like a few years before when that happened. Mom and Dad and Yudlin, they were gone. They went somewhere. Or Yudlin was in her room. She wasn't we were in the living room. I remember. It was you and me. She was in the living room. She was either in her room or she was with them. Because I know Mom and Dad weren't there. And this was at the time where it was like around Christmas time. And looking back, I'm pretty sure they were going Christmas shopping. But one night we were just watching TV, and we had like a mini coffee table. And there was like this one like Harkins Theater cup, and it was like filled up all the way, or maybe like
I know the story.
75%.
No, I remember it was like those souvenir cups you get at a football game.
Oh, it was those ones.
It was one of those.
But it was plastic cup though.
Yeah.
No, so what happened was, like, we were just chilling, and then out of nowhere, one of the lamps in our room, in the living room, there was two. I remember because it was on my right side. It was just flickering on and off, and it was just like, what the hell? It was doing it for like 5 seconds, and we went ahead and looked at the light, look at the outlet. It was plugged in. It wasn't out. It wasn't loose. Nothing. So we get back. We're chilling, and like a few seconds pass by. We see like the cup on the table. It's just moving. And it wasn't moving like boom. No, it was moving like slowly and like in a circle. And there was no ice, no condensation, nothing.
It was like a circular motion.
Yeah.
So for those that are listening and now watching, it was just spinning in a rotating in a circular motion, but continually to slide.
Yeah.
And so it's like you said, there was no like condensation or water. There was no explanation as to how it slid. And I know there's going to be people who are like skeptical, like, oh, they're making it up. No, dude, like I swear, like this is stuff we have really experienced. I think that house was haunted. You can't convince me otherwise. There was one more, I have one more story about that house. I remember I took a nap like after school. And so I'm laying down in my bed.
You told me this one.
You know which one? I had the door like maybe halfway closed. And our sister at the time was like notorious for like coming in the room, annoying us during naps.
Yeah.
And I can feel by my feet like someone sitting down.
On like the corner of your bed.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like whatever, it's either her or maybe it's mom just checking on me. And I remember opening my eyes and like nobody's there, bro. But you can see like the indentation on the bed of where someone would be sitting down.
That's probably like the most scariest one.
And again, no explanation for it, but it's like we already knew. Like at that point, whenever something happened and we had no explanation for it, we would always say like, oh, es la vecina. It's the neighbor.
Oh yeah, I remember because we gave her that
Yeah,
nickname.
because whenever something just happened and we didn't know, we couldn't explain it. It's the neighbor.
And like
just
she was
checking
nice.
in.
She seemed nice too, from what we heard.
Yeah.
She seemed pretty nice.
I mean, I never met her, but again, like from what we heard, she
Yeah.
sounded like she sounded like a nice person.
Yeah. I also have another story about that house. So I don't remember this, but I was a baby. All right. This is what mom told me. She said when I was like a baby at the time when I was like sleeping in our sister's room, in the crib, she said that I saw like this one lady in the closet, and I would always tell mom like saying I see someone in the closet, and I wasn't like screaming or nothing. I would say, oh mom, there's someone in the closet, or there'll be another time where I'm over here saying hi in the closet while mom's in the room, and she looks in the closet and no one's there. And then mom told me like she's saying like, oh yeah, you also said that you saw a witch or something. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't remember.
You were little.
Yeah.
And I can remember that conversation about like what was going on. But yeah, you were little, and again, it was like one of those things where you don't have an explanation for it.
What about that one time where you said you were singing in the bathroom?
You see, I was thinking of that too. I didn't know if I was
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was gonna share that story, but since you brought it up, so at our grandma's house, on our mom's side specifically, she has this picture of one of her sons. And
Who, grandma?
Yeah, grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's mom's uncle.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to like make it like.
Yeah. Well, again, and he had passed away, many years ago, and he had a good relationship with with our mom, I should say.
Yeah.
And I can remember, them telling me after the fact. They told me after the fact he was a fan of the Beatles. Who wasn't? They're great. I love John Lennon and Paul McCartney, of course. And there was one morning that they're giving me a bath, and I'm a small child, and I'm just singing, one of the Beatles songs, "She Loves You," and mom's like, "Hey, where'd you hear that?" And I was like, "Well, the man." I said, "What man?" I said, that man, and didn't know what to make of it. Maybe a couple weeks go by or whatever, and we visit our grandma, and sure enough, she has the picture up. And I look at my mom and I say, "That's the man." And to think that, they never told me. I didn't know who the Beatles were. I was a kid. And then again, and at the time, that's not music that we listened to. So to think that, like, I'm singing this, him having a good relationship with our mom and just having that connectivity, you know what I mean? Again, things you just can't explain. Now you got me stuck on ghost stories at this point.
Yeah.
For people who knew where we worked at a retirement home as servers.
Oh man.
You worked there for like under 2 years?
I worked there for a little bit over a year and a half.
I was there for nearly 6.
I got so much stories about that. Not just ghost stories, but a lot of stories about that.
Well, then today specifically, because we're on Friday the 13th, naturally, when you work in an environment where there's the elderly, they pass away.
Yeah.
And I remember many times that, again, things would happen and you had no explanation. I'll give you an example. So I would open on Saturdays, and I would, get everything ready, whether it was coffee or making sure all the tables are set. And I'm by myself. Or no, I'm the only server, I should say, because we had Simon, the cook, there with me as well, because he had to prep breakfast. And I'm getting my stuff ready, whatever, and I can feel 2 taps on my shoulder, like someone trying to get my attention.
You too?
And I remember thinking, like, that's weird. Like, I know I didn't make that up. Like, I felt 2 taps. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe one of the other servers are here, because I always got there really early.
Yeah.
And so I call out to Simon. I said, "Hey, Simon, is there anybody else here? Like, did anybody else walk in?" And he's like, "No, it's just you and I." And I'm like, "Huh." And again, it wasn't something, to freak out about. But it was always like, well, it's one of them for sure. They're trying to find something to eat late at early in the morning, I should say.
Yeah.
But that place, there's a lot of things
Yeah.
that you can't explain.
Funny enough, I actually had a similar story to like that, but I was at the other building, which was assisted living. And I remember because it was like 7 o'clock. We just got done service. Everyone's gone. Everyone ate. It was me, this one other server, and this one cook. And they left. And it was like my first day over at the other building. They just left. Like they were done with that place. Like they wanted to go home. I had to stay behind to make sure, get everything ready for the next morning, for the morning people. And I'm over here by myself. Some of the lights are turned off. The dining room, all the lights are turned off. And it's a small place. Like you can hear, like, if you're you can hear silverware like touching the floor. And I'm doing roll-ups, getting silverwares, and then someone tapped me. Not on my shoulder. Someone tapped me in the butt.
Yeah, they would do that too.
Yeah.
And but people know the people that worked with us.
Oh yeah.
They know exactly who we're talking about. I'm not gonna name their names.
They know.
But some of them, they're kind of handsy, man.
Yeah, like some of them are crazy. But no, anyways, so I look behind me, and this is when like I first started, like the first few months working over there. Like just at that place alone. So I turned around and I see no one. I was freaking out because I'm by myself. No one's here. You're at the other building. I just stopped. I just ran. I went to you. I'm like, hey, dude, like, I think like something just happened, bro. Like a ghost just tapped me or something.
How did I react? Because I don't remember. I remember like you told me the story afterwards.
You were chilling. You're like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
So you bumped into a ghost. So, like you're like wondering when.
Because it's like, yeah. It's
eventually, like any server works over there. Eventually, they're gonna have a ghost encounter.
Yeah.
And for me, it finally happened.
But
it was just really creepy.
I wonder how that place is doing right now.
Yeah.
It's been, we haven't been there in some time, so I'm curious. But yeah, no, I'm gonna move off that topic now before we go somewhere with it.
Yeah.
I have no ill will toward that place. It gave me good experiences for the most part. Taught me how to be a better worker in terms of time management, organization. Like I said, I have no ill will towards that place. Could it have been better? Yeah, but I mean that's everywhere. Like especially with like COVID, we were working through COVID. That could have been anywhere, but for the most part, I'm chilling. I know you have different feelings about it.
Well, anyway, since it's Friday the 13th, what's your favorite Jason movie?
Definitely the 6th one, Jason Lives.
That's a good one.
I think it's a good balance. What a segue, by the way. It's a good balance between humor, horror, and I just think if you are a fan, I mean, even if you're not a fan of horror, that's a movie to watch. There are, I think, 12 Jason movies.
I lost count, dude.
I think there's 12.
I lost count after X.
Yeah, well, there's X, then there's Freddy versus Jason, and then there's the remake. So there's 12.
Okay.
Obviously, that's a lot of movies, and if you don't have that kind of time, 6.
Dude,
Jason
could
Lives.
you imagine that the people have time to watch all the James Bond movies?
There's 25. No, is there 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 25 James Bond movies.
Jeez, man.
I would like to watch a James Bond movie, but there's just too many to count.
I want to watch GoldenEye. That's what I want to watch.
GoldenEye?
Yeah.
You just want to watch it because of the game.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. But regardless.
Obviously the first one. But anyways, so back to the Jason. You like the 6th one, right?
I think the 6th one is the best one. If you're gonna watch a Jason movie and you can only pick one, that's the one I would. That one or the 4th one.
Yeah, the 4th one's pretty good.
That one has Tommy Jarvis, who is like his biggest enemy. His arch enemy.
Mm-hmm.
The 4th and 6th, for sure.
Yeah. Now, if you want to have a laugh, I say the 3rd one.
The 3rd one's bad.
But it's funny though. And
that's the thing too, because when you're with a group of friends, those are great movies to just put on and have a laugh, because they're not, I wouldn't say they're scary, but they're just, it's a good time.
Yeah.
And saying that out loud, I don't mean that death is funny. I just think you have
the plot.
You have a guy in a hockey mask chasing school or camp counselors, I should say. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fun. It's a good time. But
Yeah, the sixth one's probably my favorite one as well. Um, I do like Jason's like. Um, I don't want to say the way he kills because that doesn't sound right saying out loud.
It doesn't. And
It
again,
doesn't?
we're not promoting anything
Yeah,
here.
we're not.
We're just because in the spirit of Friday the 13th. That's all.
Yeah.
To move off of that topic, because it's masks too. Recently, I had uploaded a video on YouTube about like the NBA and
What's the channel called, by the way?
Oh, it's just my name, buddy. It's just okay. Real quick, the name of the channel is just Jose _3. But me saying buddy to you, do you remember that one time at work where I'll say her name, Bere? She said hi to me. She said, "Oh, what's up, Jose?" I said, "Oh, what's up, Bere?" And then you come in. She's like, "Oh, hey, buddy." Like as if you're like a little kid.
No, and the funny part is I'm older than her.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I'm older than her.
yeah. And I remember asking her afterwards. I was like, "Hey, what the hell was that about?" And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, buddy." I'm like, he's like a grown man at this point. And she's like, "I'm sorry. Like, I just correct. I mean, if my memory serves me right, I believe she said that's how she talks to her, like her younger brother."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I get that because he's my younger brother. But I just thought it was so funny because it
Yeah.
just caught me off
That
guard.
threw me off guard too, man.
It caught me off guard, and I thought that was so funny. So if Beta, if you're listening to this, I didn't forget. That still makes me laugh to this day.
Hi.
And every now and then, I'll still tell him. I'll be like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Okay, going back to the video. Did the NBA masked video, and I thought that was one of the most fun things I had done to this point.
Yeah.
I want to do more videos like that because it really gives me a chance to dive into the history of the sport and, you know,
Some facts, you know.
some facts, but also give in my own humor, which
Yeah.
is funny enough because I made some Jason references in that video.
I do remember that.
But nonetheless, it just gives me another chance to thank you guys for the support. I will never get tired of saying that. Me as a person, I'm a very appreciative person, and if I'm going to express that towards someone, I'm going to do it because I feel like everybody needs to know how much they mean to a person. You know what I mean? With that being said, this podcast is going to see some format changes. Yes, we're going to talk about sports, but I do want it to be fun. I want it to be a flowing conversation. In the future, I don't know how soon, but I'd like to have guests. I'd like to invite some friends over or whoever, family, whoever's willing to come and just have a conversation. We'll have a good time. I want to leave that open, you know, as a chance for people to express their opinions, get their thoughts out there. Hey, maybe they want to promote something. I don't know. But growing this is going to take time, of course. And I've said it from the beginning. I want this something to grow with those around us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I'm out of word. I'm really good. I feel like I'm good at speaking, but there are some times where I'm just left speechless because of genuinely like how grateful I am towards everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. For me, I've had some people reach out and they know who they are, and I would like to take this time just to thank you all, because if I, took the time and did it, it would take me a while, but nonetheless, it just means a lot to me with this podcast. Doing it with you, it means a lot to me because it gives us something to look forward to throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pain to edit, for sure. But at the end of the day, if we're able to create something that resonates with others and they can enjoy it, hey, that's a plus for me. You know what I mean, buddy? Yeah.
Come on, man.
Every time I look at you now, I'm going to say buddy.
No, and what's funny, too, most people didn't even call me by my name over there.
No, and that's funny, too, because in our household, your name is Jared.
Yeah.
We've called you that forever because that's your name.
Yeah.
But outside, people refer to you as Jared.
Yeah. I'll never forget this one time, one of the cooks, should I just say her name? Rosie. Very cool, by the way.
Awesome.
We're over here working, Jose and I. I'm over here saying, okay, I have this order right here, and she calls me by Jared, and that threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute. What did you call me?
I remember you asked me too. You were like, did you tell her that's my
Yeah.
name? And I'm like, no, I thought you told her.
Yeah.
it throws you for a loop, because it's like combining home and work, and it's
Yeah,
weird.
it was really weird. It's like how people would call you Jose and then Jose.
That's fine though. And here's my thing: if you're able to say Jose, I prefer that. If you say Jose, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. But my name is Jose. You know what I mean?
See, with me though, it's like I feel like just around family, I'm okay with people calling me Jared.
Yeah.
If you can call me that as well, like, cool. I'm just used to Jared because that's like I've pretty much gone by lately, especially from school all those years, and that's what. It's weird, dude. It's almost like as if like I have like two egos or something. Like
Like an alter ego.
no, not even. Maybe you could say like it's like Moon Knight. It's almost like that where I either go by Jake or Mark, like that. It's just weird sometimes because like I feel like I act different on like those names. It's like when at home when I go by Hadid, I'm more so like relaxed, chill, But then when I go by Jared, like in public, it's like I gotta like have manners,
I mean, you should have manners even at home, dude.
Well, yeah, but I'm more so like I'm more polite, because let's be honest.
What does that even mean? I'm more polite.
Well, no,
Oh no, you mean like you're more politically correct?
yeah.
Yeah, because
let's
like
be real,
you speak differently. I feel like in public. When we're
Yeah.
home, it's like whatever. Like
Yeah, it's like
slang.
whatever, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I'm out in public, I don't go out saying, "Hey, what up, fam? Cool." Like only with my friends,
yeah.
but not with like I don't know, like people like my boss or something. Like no, I don't go.
No, and that's
Yeah.
fine because like everyone has that like customer
That respect.
service
You gotta have
voice.
respect too.
Oh no, I was talking about like customer service voice because the way I would speak like at work
Oh yeah.
is
Oh
not.
no, you had a
It's,
big one.
well, it's because it's like a switch. You have to flip it on
Yeah.
because they don't want to hear me, talk like this. They want to hear, a more professional tone and whatever, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
I get that.
It's like wrestling. When people when the fans show up, they want to see like who you are, like on the ring, on the court. Not the court, the ring. But in the back, they don't know who you are, like behind Gorilla. Like they don't know that.
We're gonna use a lot of technical terms, so sometimes I have to like explain it because I don't feel like people would get it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Gorilla is the entrance way to the ring, except it's blocked off by a curtain. That's where performers they get ready to hear their music. Gorilla is a backstage term because of a very famous wrestler, Gorilla Monsoon. That's where he would hang out prior to the entrances.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing why I wanted this podcast because we're able to give out information like that. I've always said, what's the point of knowing things if you're not going to share? So if I have some insight on like, hey, pro wrestling or movies or sports, any advice, I would like to share that with people. They can do whatever they want with it. They don't have to listen to it, but it's there. I think back to like at our job. There were some people who felt comfortable enough to come to me for advice, whether it was school, whether it was work, whether it was a relationship, and I appreciated that because they trusted me with that information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you have the chance to help someone like that, I believe it's your obligation to do that. And that gives me the chance to do that here. So whether you're listening to this driving in the car, maybe you're at the house cleaning, maybe we're in the background and you're doing homework, nonetheless, this is our way of connecting with you. And if you want to connect with us, go ahead and give it a download. Review it. I don't know. Give us some kind of feedback. This is a hobby, if anything. Hopefully it can lead to something and we're really excited for it. But I'll speak for both of us.
Yes.
He said yes. I'll speak for both of us in saying that this is only episode 2. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. And I mean, we'll see. I'm excited. Anything you want to add before we go off?
Stay tuned for episode 3 because I think something about to go down. I think you might like it.
I don't even know what you're talking about now.
I like just throwing teasers out, You got to have that post-credit scene.
That's fine.
At a movie,
Sure.
Maybe I might talk about a story,
That's one thing we want to do too is share stories here. Go ahead and let us know what you guys think. You can find me on all social media platforms at justjose_3. You want to promote your thing again?
Yeah, you can go ahead and find me on Snapchat.
On Snapchat? What's the handle?
You really want me to say it?
If you don't want to promote it, I won't make you.
No, fine.
I won't make you promote it.
I was a freshman when I made this in high school. Okay, at Broke Beaner 445. Okay.
That's a fantastic name. You should be proud of that name.
All right, man. One day I'll probably change it.
You
but
can
yeah.
no, and they changed that feature. You can change it now if you want
Really?
to. You can change it if you want to. I don't think you should. Well, no, if you
Well,
want to, go for it.
I mean, that lets you know how much I use social media.
You,
But hey,
he's a ghost. You know, we started the story with we started the show with ghost stories. We'll end it with one more.
people barely text me, man. That's why I don't use it. I need friends. Come on.
Hit him up at Broke Beaner. What was it? 445.
Yeah.
Broke Beaner 445 on Snapchat. Once again, give it a listen. We appreciate you guys. As always, we'll see you when we see you.
Totally. Peace.